Do you know, one thing that has never ever left me is that to pronounce this guy's name, I was to think of the Police song, and now I am always singing, I'll be watching you, all the time. I cannot stop it. I can't think of the original song without thinking of him. So thank you, internet comments, for that little nugget of information. Hello wonderful humans of the internet, how are we? My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sttvocals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and various other social media platforms, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. What was that? I'm not going to do that again. Now, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus content, like my Vocal Anatomy 101 series, where we learn how the voice works. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Just like Joy has done, Joy has gotten in touch and has asked that I review Hua Chenyu. And I have done Hua Chenyu in the past, but they've not done this one. So we're going to go and listen to Warm House, which, fun fact, Scotland in the wintertime is not a thing. A warm house does not exist. So as we move into a freezing cold house season in Scotland, let's go and listen to Warm House by Hua Chenyu and see if it warms me up. I'm sure it will. Ooh, I really like the start of this. It feels quite aspirate, but at the same time it's on this like precipice of the voice kind of breaking. So you get this really kind of exasperated tone coming through. One way to describe it is almost like you're pushing past the comfort point of your breath and heading into that place where it's a wee bit more laboured, you know, in here, kind of that thing. Can you feel it? Can you hear that? So it just kind of feels like it's constantly dancing on that edge of like wanting to snap in and inhale. Very, very nice. I like the start of this. Sorry, that's a really quick pause, but did you see there was a snapped breath in there? So maybe this is by design. That's the kind of vibe he's going for, is to push into that place where he's getting rid of quite a lot of air at the beginning, and that's why you get that aspirate burst into that kind of pushed on place. There's some smooth elements in here as well, so he's pushing onto some kind of cleaner tone. I just did it there. I am really, really digging this. I love his hair. It's very atmospheric. There's a lot of space in this song. So you've got this kind of finger-plucked guitar sound with this atmospheric vocal that's kind of trailing through a very echoey space. There's lots of reverb on it. And then his voice is very front and present. So you almost get like areas of music. You can kind of feel a lot of space between these elements. I really like that. I think this is quite atmospheric. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, right. So that is what he's doing. Now I've had a little bit more time to focus. There is a push of air at the very beginning. You can hear it. It's very, very kind of blowy almost. Like, so he gets rid of quite a lot of that air, which leaves him with not that much to play with. and you can feel these kind of draw in of breath. It's adding a lot of emotional intent. It makes me feel like I don't quite know what's going to happen. It makes me feel like I'm not quite 100% sure that he's in a physical or emotionally stable place to do the vocal. It's given all of this character work just from pushing out a bit more breath at the beginning and letting yourself feel that struggle. I really like it. Okay, so there's definitely a track there behind that. He pushed onto a more nasalized sound. You could hear it coming through the nose, that wherever it was. But you had a backing track going, had lots more air going through. So those two together, I actually felt they blended at one point, and then Hua Chenyu went more into that nasalized place and it pushed forward. It kind of just surfaced, if you like. This is such an interesting song. I'm not sure where it's going to go. You hear the difference there? Oh, I like that. So we're now entering places where we go into our head voice and our falsetto. The head voice is a natural connection to the rest of your voice, of your chest, of your head. Falsetto is where we have a different configuration of the vocal folds. So they're stiff and they allow air to kind of blow through them rather than to vibrate in a pattern, if you like. So when we get he's changing up from head to falsetto. And you can hear the difference in the kind of tonal quality. The falsetto is a lot more aspirate, a lot more airy, breathy, and the head voice is a lot more clean and connected. They're both lovely. I enjoy the fact that he used one and then jumped onto the other. It gives that feeling of drift. So he gets up to that point and then, ooh, lets it go. Ooh, I don't know what that was. Anyway, I'm loving this. Oh. This does feel like a natural place for this to go into a kind of a grungy, rocky kind of space. It could have stayed there the whole time, but I feel like we're at about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes in now. You could have ended the song rather than going into a different space. The different space is giving it a different direction. It's keeping it interesting. I'm going to enjoy this part too. His lower work is really nice. It's still very lifted. The larynx doesn't drop down to create a kind of a scoopy kind of sound. It's still lifted, so you get brightness of tone off of that low note. It keeps it kind of in the same area as the rest of the vocal. It's a very contained vocal so far. We have everything within this bandwidth, especially of intent. I really like it. Now we're moving into a much more forward-placed, beltier kind of sound. He's managing to keep it smooth though by doing very slight scoops at the beginning. So all all of this kind of extension into that kind of more laboured place keeps everything still quite nice and smooth. Because it's not as aspirate and it's a bit more forward place, it doesn't have that kind of struggle laboured sound towards the ends of the phrases. This is him moving his vocal into the next phase. I like it. That was really impressive. So to go from that kind of mixed belty sort of place into that really small lifted head voice place, it's not an easy thing to do. It's completely pushing your voice into one area and then the other on the flick of a switch. He made it look easy though. I'm so sorry for pausing so much, but I feel like Hua Chenyu really does use his voice in so many different ways. Like every line I hear, there's something interesting to comment on. It's actually hard not to pause all the time because he's like a little architect with his voice, and every room has these little knickknacks that I'm just kind of obsessed with, to be honest. So impressive. This is really giving me shades of the 90s. It has a little bit kind of Radiohead-ish vibes at times. It's got all of those kind of indie flavors, these kind of melancholic vocal lines just cascading over these kind of dirgy guitars. I really, really like it. Takes me back because I'm old. Very impressive when he gets up into these really extended places in his mix and then again flips into that headspace. His headspace on that whatever the actual phrase was, he went fully into head voice the second time, so he didn't have that nasalized sound. That had gone in favour for that cleaner kind of sound. It blended a lot more with the backing vocals. We are just exploring this man's voice with him. It's a delight. Yes! Oh, I really like that kind of pushed. It wasn't nasalized, it had a little bit of texture to it. And then he let it kind of drift off, pulled himself away from the mic as well, so you get that extra kind of signal drop, if you like. It's a bit more of an artificial smoothing of the tone. It's so effective though. I absolutely love it. I love this. And now we're back to the kind of tone that he started with. We're back onto the aspirate, pushed to a place, maybe a slightly lower larynx this time. It's a little bit more lower set, but again, we're getting that kind of exasperated, laboured, can I finish the phrase kind of thing off the vocal. I can't even speak. I do love it when a song ends the way that it starts, and this kind of feels like that's the way it's going to go. I am thoroughly impressed. I also just very quickly want to say how much I love the look. Like, there's something cool and symbolic about like the red microphone in front of him and this like blue streak coming out of the back of his hair. I seem to remember him having like really long hair that came forward, maybe in the other videos I've seen. So this swept back look looks really cool. The fit is immaculate. I love the face jewelry. Whatever's going on here, I'm digging. Beautiful. Oh, yes. Yes, that is the way to end a song. Oh, yes. That kind of puts me in mind of like Damien Rice. That we would end a song just on like the bare minimum, almost speech. It's just letting the song kind of dissipate. Oh, absolutely beautiful. There was kind of a Hammond organy kind of sound that came in at the end that I don't recall through the start of the song, but that could have just been that I didn't notice it. I don't know. It kind of distracted me slightly, but it was cool. I maybe just would have put it a little bit further back in the mix to kind of keep it more like what I was getting from the beginning. But that was, oh my days. Hua Chenyu is a special talent, a very special talent. He has got just such control over his voice to create big sounds, small sounds, and then the blend between them as well is just immaculate. He is so good. So Joy, thank you so much for suggesting that. That was fantastic. And if we have any more Hua Chenyu suggestions, then drop them in the comments below and I will go and check them out when I get a sec. But this video is already super duper long, so I guess all I will say is if you like that reaction, give it a like and a thumbs up down below. If you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. And so I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? I don't know, so I'll just say goodbye. Bye. Love you, bye.